Hello there, this is Ty the Movie Guy, and we are back for my all-time favorite series, You Pick the Flick.
Fire, you son of a great power comes great responsibility.
My brother and a
You do this all day. I am Iron Man. Why so serious?
I am the destroyer of worlds.
And if you've never seen a You Pick the Flick video before, I'll just briefly explain it to you. You, the viewer, comment a movie suggestion that you think I've never seen before and you think I would like down in the comments below. And then I will pick 5 of them randomly to watch and rank. So that is why we are in my old video right now, because we are now going to pick our 5 lucky contestants. So before we randomly pick our comments, I just want to thank all of these guys who commented. I love you guys so much. So thanks a lot for commenting. You are the best. So here we have a random comment picker, and I already got the URL in. So we are going to press fetch, and we are going to not include replies and not allow duplicates, and pick our first contestant. So drum roll. We got, oh, never mind. Okay, here we go. Mission X, you're our first winner, and you commented, watch the 2011 Disney Channel original movie, Lemonade Mouth. I've never heard about that until you commented it, but now I'm gonna watch it. So that is our first contestant. And contestant number 2 is Russian Batman. If it's not too late to suggest, I would also like to suggest the film Boondocks Saints. And I have also never heard about that until he mentioned it, and I told him to comment it, and now here we are. So I'm watching Boondocks Saints. And then number 3, we have Das Boot, My Sweet Child by the Tickle Monster. This is a friend from work who I made comment this. So I'm excited to watch this movie. And then we are at number 4. Oh, we got a bunch of suggestions from Skull Smoothies, Talk Talk, Nimona, and Shin Godzilla. Ooh, I've never heard of Talk Talk, but I've heard of Nimona and Shin Godzilla. I am gonna go with Shin Godzilla because I watched Godzilla -1 and I quite liked it, so I'm curious to see more Japanese Godzilla movies. So we're going with Shin Godzilla. And our final contestant is Potato Mean. Uh-oh. Potato Mean did Food Fight. Let's hope it's a good one this time. He said, you should watch the hit live-action 2011 film Horde Henry. The movie is available on YouTube. And okay, I have never heard of Horde Henry, but considering he commented Food Fight, we can only go up from there. So those are our 5 contestants. And I will see you in, I don't know, a week once I watch all of these movies, and then I will rank them. So see you in a week.
1 week later.
All right, we are back. It's been a week. I've watched all the movies, and now it is time to rank them. And to no one's surprise, we have Horde Henry, the movie. And you know what? When this movie was picked, I was kind of optimistic considering Potato Mean's track record with picking movies. We had Food Fight, so we definitely did go up. But considering we started at Food Fight, we went up, but that's not really saying much. This is still a awful movie. And, you know, it's just playing to like the lowest demographic of children with like, you know, really, really stupid, silly jokes that maybe I would have liked if I was like 5, but I'm literally quadruple that age, so of course I was not interested in this comedy, and it just had like a very basic plot of trying to save the school and crap like that. It was pretty bad, but I kind of expected that, so Potato Mean once again has suggested a really awful movie.
You can't keep getting away with it!
In 4th place, we have Boondocks Saints, and it was a fine movie, pretty generic. It's 4th place, but compared to Horde Henry's here, and then Boondocks and everything else is way up here. But you know, it was a pretty fine, pretty kind of generic crime movie. Gave me like major Guy Ritchie vibes. Like, you know, Guy Ritchie's big into crime movies just like this. And basically it's just about these Irish brothers taking on the Russian mafia. And there's just like a bunch of scenes of Willem Dafoe, the police chief, like going to the scene of the crime and then seeing like what happened, and then it kind of it shows what actually happened with like how they took on the Russian mafia. And it was kind of an interesting approach to something like this, but they kind of just repeated it over and over again, and then it got a little old. I mentioned Willem Dafoe before. He was definitely the standout of this entire movie. He was a very funny character as the police detective, and it was cool to see certain clips of him that I've seen from memes in this movie, like the river dancing scene.
Kinda makes me feel like river dancing.
And then the interview of him talking about this movie.
He's gay, but he has a special connection to classical music. There's many things that are interesting about him.
All in all, pretty generic, but Willem Dafoe was definitely funny, so I'm still glad I watched this. In third place, we have Lemonade Mouth. And no offense to Lemonade Mouth, but you can kind of see the similarities between Lemonade Mouth and Horrid Henry, just because they both have that, you know, kind of made for TV, childish type movie vibes. But Horrid Henry is like meant for 5-year-olds, and you watch it when you're 5, you kind of like it, and then you rewatch it, and then you realize it's trash. And then Lemonade Mouth is kind of like, it's a step up in the comedy, still pretty childish, but like, you know, you watch it when you're 10, and then you get that nostalgia, and then I feel like you'd still like it as you get older. But me personally, this is the first time I've ever seen it, so I don't have that nostalgia. I'm just watching it as a 20-year-old, you know, watching a movie. But I can see if you were to watch it when you were a kid and then watch it now, you would really like it. But yeah, me personally, watching it at this age, it didn't really do anything for me personally. It's just, you know, kind of kiddie humor, kind of like Disney Channel type humor. I was never a big Disney Channel kind of guy. I was more of a Teletoon and a YTV kind of guy. Nobody probably knows what that is, because that's just the Canadian equivalent of Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. Personally, that was my thing. I was more of like an iCarly guy and stuff like that when it comes to like live action kid shows and stuff like that. So, you know, it was kind of cool seeing the Disney Channel side of this genre that I've never like kind of seen before. But, you know, like, it was a fine kind of high school breakfasty club kind of vibe of a band and all of that. Yeah, it was a fine movie. Like, yeah, I can see why you would like it if you watched it as a young age, but me personally, yeah, it was fine. In second place, we have Das Boot. And boy, oh boy, was this a movie. Not in the way of like, was this a great movie? Just in the way of how long it was. Because when I like saw it on Letterboxd, I saw it was like 2.5 hours. I'm like, okay, that's not terrible. And then for some reason, the streaming service I used, it was the extended edition. So it turns out it was 3.5 hours. So it was quite the watch, I gotta say. Pretty long. Lots of going on my phone and playing Sudoku and stuff like that because of how long it was. But it's, I don't know, it's one of those movies where I'm glad I watched it. Like, it has historical significance and it's like this highly praised movie. But if I live the rest of my life without ever seeing it again, I will die happy. It's one of those movies. You can appreciate it. I'm never gonna watch it again. It was just really long, and it was just a very simple plot of like a crew in a submarine, and it was just like, oh no, our submarine got shot. We fixed it. And then, oh no, our submarine got shot. Oh, we fixed it. Our submarine got shot. Oh no, we're actually like sinking and the submarine's flooding. Oh, we fixed it. We're okay again. That was kind of like the plot over and over again. And you know, it does have like deep messages and stuff, but all in all, it was pretty slow. So yeah, I respect it, but I'm happy never to watch it again. And in first place, we have Shin Godzilla. And right off the bat, I love how we have the American side of Godzilla, where he's, you know, doing wrestling moves and flying through the air and stuff like that. And we have the Japanese Godzilla, who's a depiction of Hiroshima, and he's terrifying and all of that. I love the two spectrums of Godzilla. And recently I've been watching the scary Japanese side of Godzilla with Godzilla -1, which was amazing, and now watching this Godzilla. And I gotta say, it was definitely a step down from Godzilla -1 in certain aspects. Aspect 1 is Godzilla's a little bit janky. Specifically, his first form was super weird, and then, you know, as the movie goes on, he looks more like Godzilla, but still a pretty weird depiction of Godzilla. I don't think I'm going to show you, because I think you got to watch the movie yourself to see what I'm talking about. Weird design, and the CGI was a little bit clunky, but I still respect it. It probably had a really low budget, so I still respect the job they were able to do. And then also with the human characters and how they went along with that, it was a lot of just people in like office buildings, in like boardroom meetings, like talking about how to defeat Godzilla and all that. And then there was like maybe 3 like main Godzilla scenes, but the majority of it was just talking about how to defeat him. And -1, on the other hand, did a way better approach at this, where it showed lots more of Godzilla, and the main character was like actually like right there facing Godzilla, and you see the impact of like how Godzilla affects our lead character. But in this movie, it's just our lead character in like an office building talking about how to defeat him, and then the people actually fighting Godzilla are just soldiers. So definitely like steps down from -1. I think -1 learned from the mistakes of Shin Godzilla to make it even better. I still like this movie. I like the dramatic approach of Godzilla. So yeah, this was a fun watch, and I think I'm gonna check out the very original Godzilla, because I haven't seen that yet. So I just want to keep on watching Godzilla. I'm in a big Godzilla mood lately. So yeah, that is our top movie of this You Pick the Flick. Thanks to everyone who commented a movie. I love all of you, so keep on commenting down below so we can make more of this series. That's about it. I will see you in a week for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
I cannot wait. So see you then, and farewell.